The guardians of the borrowed things? Deep in the Yucatan jungle, where the sun filtered through ancient canopy, lived Chimal and Itzel. They were proud farmers, raising maize and squash in the rich earth. Yet, the land was vast, and the jungle was known for its quiet mischief. Tools vanished. Keys disappeared. Valuable baskets seemed to walk away on their own. "We work hard, Itzel," Chimal sighed one evening, having lost his favorite stone hoe again. "But the jungle keeps taking little pieces of our life." Itzel smiled, remembering the old stories her grandmother told. "The jungle doesn't take, Chimal. It only allows things to be borrowed, if the proper guardians are invited." It was time for the ritual of the Aluxes. Following the instructions passed down through generations, Chimal gathered clay from the riverbank, smooth, wet, and cool. Together, they began to shape the mud, molding small figures of people, men and women, dressed in simple farm clothes. 9 small guardians were sculpted, each no taller than a handspan. They were not idols to be worshipped, but tiny, magical laborers. Itzel carried the freshly molded figures to a quiet, sheltered alcove near the edge of the crop fields, where the spirits of the ancestors rested. For 9 nights, the figures rested. And for 9 mornings, Chimal placed offerings nearby. Fresh tortillas, a small bowl of sweet atole, a maize drink, and a pinch of tobacco. These gifts were payment in advance for the guardian's service, a pact between the living and the unseen. On the 9th night, as the moon crossed its peak, a whisper moved through the alcove, not of the wind, but of quickening life. The clay hardened, the offerings vanished, and the figures stood up. They were the Aluxes, small, swift, and possessing the deep, unpredictable wisdom of the forest floor. Their task was to protect the field and grant the rains, but their nature was also utterly mischievous. They loved playing tricks. If an object was important, the Aluxes often felt compelled to borrow it, just to remind the humans that nothing was truly owned, only cared for. One afternoon, Chimal needed his machete, honed sharp for clearing new growth. He had left it right by the water trough. Now, it was gone. He searched the shed, the field boundaries, the house. "Itzel! The big one! It's vanished!" he cried out, shaking his head in mock frustration, knowing who the culprits were. Later, Itzel realized the heavy bronze key for the main harvest storage, the one needed for the upcoming trade day, was missing from its hook. She looked toward the field edge where the Aluxes lived, and simply shrugged. The trick was already done. The Aluxes always returned what they borrowed, but only after they had made their point. The next morning, Chimal found his polished machete leaning precisely against the front door, cleaner and sharper than before. Itzel found the bronze key, nested safely in the very bowl where Chimal had left the 9 nights of Atoli offerings. The Aluxes were demanding and playful guardians of the lost things, teaching their farmers that what goes around always comes around, especially in the magical hands of clay.